Today we get an example of what happens when two people don't communicate. I didn't tell Santa before we got started what we were doing, and he didn't ask questions that he needed to ask to get an understanding of what was going on.
Why are we leveling it flat?
So we have a flat platform to build on,
Why do we need that?
so we don't build the walls crooked.
But don't we have squares for that?
Squares won't help,
Okay.
because they're not 7 feet long. We're doing the sides first.
Okay. I don't understand the issue.
The issue is when you build on unflat, you have problems.
Okay.
And you might not see how the problems will arise, but they will. It is really jacked up at the back there. It looks like a hot rod trailer. So we still have to build with reference to the frame. If the frame is twisted and unlevel and unsquare, you're gonna have a bad day. Take these two ends, hook them on the end. Okay, so these actually measure the same. Let go. So if I tell you a measurement and you're using one tape measure and it's not the same as when I measure it, we know it's not the tapes.
Unless the tape measure has changed since the time you standardized them. That is an assumption you're making.
That's a definition I'm making. Bigger numbers. I don't care how big the lines are. Lines don't help. Big numbers, so you can see them from a distance.
Oh, I see. Okay.
We've had this conversation before.
Not recently.
But we have had it. Okay, so that means we need 2 at that end, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 2x4s for there. Right down 8 2x4s.
Now, I want to preface this, Moose, with I have not seen any drawings.
It doesn't matter. This is standard residential construction practices.
Oh, this is residential.
Yes, this is residential trailer. This one is so that when I want to put my plywood on the inside walls, I have something to screw to.
Okay. So what's supporting the aluminum sheeting on the outside?
That.
Is there another one here?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I said 8.
Well, I didn't know why you said 8.
Okay. So we have 2 in this corner, 3, red mark 4, red mark 5, red mark 6, red mark 7, 1 at the end makes 8. So these are 16 centers.
So what goes here then?
The other wall.
And it's going to
Go from,
like that?
yes, you look
It's
confused.
going to have metal sheeting here.
Yes,
Remember, I haven't seen a plan, so I
it doesn't matter.
Well, it does if I know what I want to know what I'm doing. So,
Okay, imagine this is a house. It's getting plywood interior walls and metal sheeting on the exterior walls. We're building a house that happens to be on wheels.
Oh, but it's not a little house.
It's not a
So-
tiny house. No, it's a tool trailer.
Question.
But you can think of it as a house that happens to be on wheels.
It's a really good house.
It's going really slow.
Question.
What?
Why do you have this if you have this?
Because I need to be able to screw my plywood in here and in here.
I see. Okay. Now I understand.
Is he an apprentice? With another 5 years of coaching, he might be an apprentice. We need to cut all these to 7 feet. Easiest way is to line them all up with the ends hanging off and go through them with the skill saw. Now you can start to get a bit of a better idea why I wanted to get jack stands under it. So we mark 7 feet here. And because I don't trust my getting that end perfectly square, we'll mark 7 feet here. So we can do this, run one pass, and then turn them each and finish the cut.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah. I wasn't finished, but go ahead.
This is 7. That's 9. That makes 16. You added 3
Oh, right.
to get 19.
Good question. 3 of these come off.
I didn't even finish my question either.
One is for the bottom plate there, one is for the bottom plate here.
Yes,
We're gonna need another one for the bottom plate there, and then we have one for the top plate.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need one more.
Yeah, I figured that. I just, no, this isn't 7 up. Five and a half will give you travel and stop before the frame.
All right, so we'll do 5 because there's no way it's gonna travel 5 inches. That'll go there. Lap half over that. Nailed it. No, I nailed it. Leave it.
The ground really well.
Yes, we stack up the 2x4s and we screw up the 2x4s.
That's a honeybee.
It's a honeybee.
Apis mellifera.
Come here, honeybee. Come on. Excuse you. I need you to move, please.
There we go. Sometimes you gotta apply a little bit more entomological know-how.
Yeah. Bow, crown, cup.
What's the other one?
There's only 3.
No, there's 4.
I don't buy twisted. So if you see a crown,
Crown.
put it upward. Okay.
That's wall 1, eh?
We'll square it after.
Okay. No, mine holds them fine, but this is what happened.
You're not driving straight. That's actually, so funny story. There was a video put up by Vancouver Carpenter, who I've recommended to you in the past. And it was just a video about why are screws difficult in stripping and all of this sort of thing. One of the things he suggested is to use a shorter bit because it's harder to hold a longer bit straight. I used to think that that would be true too, because you'd have a smaller angle for stuff to get messed up. But I often saw people using longer bits. So one day I decided, well, let's try that. And what the longer bit does for you is it forces you to be straighter in line, but it also accommodates more for if you are not straight in line. Because if you're off by a ½ inch here, it's a much smaller angle than if you're using a little 1-inch bit and you're off by ½ inch.
Yeah.
So the longer bits I find actually helped me get things to go straighter. So that's the sound of it stripping.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so don't keep doing
Well, I keep hoping. I only have like 1/8 of an inch to do.
Why I sink screws deep is because I want it to get to the point where it's using just the smooth end of the shaft, and that will pull the 2x4s together. Apparently I do buy twisted lumber. So what happens a lot of the time when you're using screws is as soon as you get to the second piece, this being the first piece, this being the second piece, it pushes the second piece away a little bit. But you can see there how I was able to get them to come together. See, big gap. Overdrive it, no gap. Come on. Did you go on an angle on that one?
Yes. I didn't get it as close as I wanted.
Okay, so don't go on an angle on that one.
Why? You did.
Yeah, I know. I did because I wanted to get it close to this. So by me going at an angle, I'm pulling it towards this top plate. By you going on an angle, you're pulling it away from the top plate. You know what? That'll be fine. Great tool. So we're gonna want to move both of these this way. That should be enough. Okay. So we're gonna work on the front wall and the back wall. And depending on how that goes and how much motivation I have, we might try to raise the walls. But man, I slept so bad. All that was going on in my head all night long was, oh, is it time? Do I have to wake up yet? Do I have to wake up yet? So I woke up like 5 times during the night. You know, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m. Do I have to get up yet? Do I have to get out of the house? No, it's still early? Okay, more sleep. So I want to mark just a little bit wide here. We're good on this side. And we might put one screw in a little bit just to keep this from scooting around so I can get a good measure. 86 and 3.5 16s. Depending on where we measure, we're closer to 1/4. So we'll go to 1/4. So I do have these overhung just a little bit to allow for the sheathing to come down over the outside so there's no exposed plywood or anything. And now we can start layout. Okay. All right, let's get this squared up, get a board across it. So we'll go to, well, we're gonna have trouble squaring this up. We got 121 and 5. So that's gonna be like 123 and something. Yeah. Well, we'll get a board started on one end and then use it to pull with. That is exactly where it can't be right now. All right, we'll find another way to do this. So let's do like this. Pin one corner, 122. There we go, now we're getting some movement. Got 122 and 3. That's gonna be, I think, as good as I'm gonna get. Yeah, we're out by 1/4 inch. There we go. So that's gonna stay fairly square, which means I can move it around a bit now. Oh, there we go. This is where wind makes things interesting. Gently, there we go. So that wall goes here. So the problem I am figuring out right now is if I want to do the usual, get a board attached at the top there and we slide it along this thing gets attached to here and we use that to hold this wall up once it gets relatively in position. Okay, that's as far this way as we can go and as far that way as we can go. If we do this, we should be able to get a 2x4 about in between there and still be able to screw into the side. So that'll do there. Solving problems. Okay. Now like that, I won't be able to attach them until they're basically upright. Let's see how heavy this is. Not bad. The other problem I have to deal with is if I just start lifting, this is gonna slide off. If this bottom bit wasn't in the way, this wall here, I could put a screw in to this bottom plate over here and that would keep it from sliding. It would just tip up. I see what you're saying. That's a good idea. Something like this, and then I'll have to stack those up pretty high. That's a good idea, thank you. Whatever. Nailed it. How bad will this go? Oh, this is the hard part. That is a lot of weight to take on one leg. Let's try to get both legs up. There we go. Those blocks worked perfectly. I will admit, putting these blocks in was definitely one of my better ideas. We can move this bracing to the outside after we get the bottom at least in relatively the right position. Okay, so that wall can't go anywhere. It's gonna be big. Like, that's tall. And the hard part with this is I can only get it like square-ish, plumb-ish, because I can't measure it to plumb because the trailer isn't level. Here's hoping. Well, this will be fun. There we go. That's way too tall. I've got to squish this gap here. I can't do that with that screw in. Let's put all my weight on this one spot here. That solved it. Find me a streamer who is doing the same thing but faster, and then I will accept your gripes. So this has to lift up, bottom has to go that way. We can move the whole thing this way a little bit now. So it'll have to tip up and slide that way. This is gonna be awkward. That's a big cargo trailer. Not really concerned about the strength of these things. Perfect. Oh, there's a rubbin. So this gives you an idea of how much bow there is in the deck. All right, there's that one. And then we go 10 feet along that way. So I forgot about 3 inches. And that'll go something like that. So that's going to be round about here. And we do have to measure these individually. 93 and an 1/8.
I had to measure the roof joists individually because my trailer isn't rectangular, it's trapezoidal, wider at the front than at the back. I knew this when I was building it, and I could have solved it by cutting down the front a little bit more, but I wanted every last little bit of space that I could get. So these need bespoke cuts, and I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that. Can I say hi to your dog?
For sure, he's very jumpy.
He's what?
Jumpy.
Oh, Jumpy's okay.
Yeah, he's still a baby, so.
Hi. What's his name?
Ozzy.
Ozzy? Hi, you are
No,
Jumpy.
No, chill.
There we go. It's okay.
It's happening.
Okay.
Chill.
It's
Chill.
okay.
You're a good boy.
You're a good boy.
Ozzy? No. Oh no, hide the glove.
Oh, our gloves are the best.
Oh yeah. No, my boy, no. It's okay. Good.
You're a good boy, Ozzy. You're a good boy.
Chill, my boy.
You're a good boy.
You good?
What kind is he?
Labrador. It's a silver Labrador.
A silver lab.
Yeah. And very unusual. I don't know. Too much energy.
Thank you. Have a good one.
I put a lap joint piece on each side and a triple header at the back for the eventual spring installation.
Well, it still racks a bit, but it is less.
You can see here that I had just noticed how close the neighbor had parked their truck to my van, which was going to be a problem because I wouldn't be able to get it out and turned around facing the right way on the street. While I was thinking about that, I stepped on the laptop because I was using its normal stand, my little step stool, inside the trailer.
Are you okay, laptop? You are not okay. So it functions. Bluetooth is still okay. I just killed the screen, which is a lot less bad than I killed the laptop.
Doing my best to put a brave face on for the rest of the stream, I finished out the day by framing up the other wheel well.
7 o'clock. 5+ hours, 1 broken monitor, no food. At least I didn't break my phone. I'd be a little bit more sad about that. Wait. I gotta say hi. Hello, how are you? Oh, she's tired.
It was a long walk, yeah.
Yeah.
I did a little too much on it.
Hi.
But also, she kind of overexerts herself.
Well, of course. That's the point of a dog.
She knows she's going for it.
That's the point of a dog.
If she didn't overexert herself, we could have probably got 10 more extra minutes in there.
Thank you.
No problem.
Have a good one.